Forward Janesville is a nonprofit business association along the lines of a chamber of commerce and an economic development organization, which are typical players in a community this size and smaller. And in 1990, business leaders decided to essentially combine various community economic development organizations into one. And the upshot of that time period was the state was doing a similar kind of thing in the economic development arena and launched a program called Forward Wisconsin. And the community leaders said, well, we're combining a chamber of commerce, an economic development agency. There was a industrial speculative building organization, and at the time even a tourism bureau. And we combined them all together, and they decided that they would give it the name Forward Janesville. Again, that was 20 years ago. In the ensuing years, it became clear that the smart thing to do would be to spin the Convention and Visitors Bureau off into a separate organization, which happened just a short time after. Well, of course it's my job to be optimistic about the future of this community, but it's not false optimism. I think we have a certain dynamic spirit here that goes back many, many decades, a true entrepreneurial spirit. We have a great location. That's not something you can buy or create. We just happen to have a great location. When you look at our proximity to Madison, Milwaukee, Chicago, even Minneapolis, Rockford, Quad Cities, we have a great transportation infrastructure, and we have really good partners in our energy company. Certainly with the city of Janesville, they're very aggressive, Rock County, and the city of Beloit. With the great business leadership that's been shown since not just the closure of GM, but we've suffered over 25 closures of 50 or more employees over the last 2 years. So we had the auto sector go down on the heels of a really difficult flood, you might remember. Then the auto sector goes down. At the same time, we go through one of our most severe recessions in a long time. It's sort of a trifecta of bad things all at the same time. Now, will we reinvent ourselves and come back? I don't think there's any question. Will that be a combination of things? Yes. It's unlikely to be one big company who lands here. That's more than a home run strategy in baseball. That's just not likely. Not impossible, but not likely. What's more likely is going to be a combination of three things. We are very fortunate to have a family of companies that call Janesville home. Companies like Brent Corporation, Amtech, Huffcore, Seneca Foods, Granger Specialty Products. I'm still prone to say lab safety. We have a lot of good companies here, and we're already seeing growth in some of those. So we're going to see growth. Data Dimensions just added a new data center on this edge of town, and there's nothing but good things, I think, downstream to that company. There's just a lot of examples. As soon as I start mentioning them, I'm going to leave somebody out and offend somebody. I don't mean to do that, but there are a lot of examples with SSI just expanding and Data Dimensions. There are over 20 expansion projects that have happened at the same time those 25 companies close their doors. So there's some good news buried in all the bad news already. But there's also, I think, a probability that we'll be able to stimulate more entrepreneurial startups. Again, leveraging the fact that a lot of these companies I've mentioned, they all started small, someone's garage, and we can do that again. That's more of a long-term strategy, though. It may take 5 to 10 years to see the next ABC Supply or Granger Specialty Products or Prant or Huffcore or those kinds of companies emerge, but they will emerge. And then the final step is, can we recruit some companies from outside the area to build locations here? And we've had some success in that in my 10 years here with the Lowe's door plant that's come to town and Precision Micro Tool and the John Deere distribution facility. We've seen some of that sort of thing in the last few years, and I think given our location, given an abundant supply of available industrial space, our workforce, our I think above average marketing and promotion efforts. I would love to say they're great, but we'll see how great they are over the next 5 years. There are just a lot of ingredients when you throw them all together that I just can't help but be optimistic that we're going to see some new companies emerge as well as essentially new members of the business community who've decided this is a great place to do business. Now, I suppose one could argue that having lots of available space and lots of available workers in this day and age is not unique. There are lots of communities with available space and available workers. In other words, it's not a competitive advantage. But I think this considerable effort has been made to train and retrain and upgrade the skills of that available workforce. Our real estate market is unbelievably affordable. I mean, it's just amazing what you can buy in comparison to many, many markets. And then the quality of life issues. Our school systems are really, really top-notch. And we've rebuilt that infrastructure from the grade schools through the high schools to the technical college expansions we've seen and the improvements at University of Wisconsin-Rock County. In the last 15 years, we've rebuilt our entire infrastructure. So, we have set the table, if you will, for that market basket of things that people look at when they decide, do I want to live here? Is this a good place to live? Is it affordable? Is it safe? Are the schools good? Are there things to do? And I think the answer to all those questions is yes. And some communities who may have lots of space and lots of people, they can't say that. And so I still think we have to do an even better and more aggressive sales effort for the community. But I remain very optimistic that over that 5-year time horizon you specified, we're going to see some real wins. I like to say for the smallest business, it's about the price of a burger every week to be a member. It's really not expensive. And of course, we have a variety of events that can be participated in by our members. Everything from our networking functions, we call them Business After 5 functions once a month. We have a Business and Marketing Expo, where businesses can set up booths and promote their business. It's mainly a business-to-business marketing expo. And we have a golf outing, we have an awards luncheon, we have other types of networking events which are very popular. So there are a number of ways to get involved and as just a participant in events. Of course, as I mentioned, a lot of our members, in fact, choose to spend some of their volunteer time with us. And that is a great way to get hands-on with a project, a decision that might be made on behalf of the community, our business community, through our board of directors. There's just a host of ways to get involved.